assertive, but not based on this information, like people
Absolutely,
ask for
yeah.
information, but this information we can take that. Just
Right.
to project you how the main points will be. Main point followed by supporting and subsidizing. Here too it is the main one, subsidizing also the main points only, but not the main one. Like second main point, least important point, like that. That's why for thematic body paragraph one, first sentence and last sentence must have same sort of opinions. True one. That is thematic. Particular information in the sense they go for including the main point not in the first place, but somewhere else in the middle. Like how? See, this is not the main point. This is what the main point, right? The main point included here clearly in the second sentence, not in the first sentence. That's how the main point incorporation differs from particular information. And do not take that, sir, this is given in particular information, I'll go for copy pasting the same. Just in your views, you can go for expressing that. Why? I need to make up my information or the information what I'm going to make here in this order. Because that's a strategic order. I mean, that's a confined order, required parameter. Who said that? Who has, no one has said, no one specified that. But this is what the ideally accepted one in terms of revealing your opinion. Okay? Right. And there is no point that why did they mention the main point here in the first place? It's about whether to take the children on school buses or not. Like how they revealed the point here in the first place. In the first place, they have revealed the point here.
They did warm ups.
Right, man. No, we will do that, man. So next, this is what strategic one confined to the body paragraph one and body paragraph two. For both the paragraphs clearly. And next, second most important and main important point. Out of number of sentences what you are going to write, majority are to say that more than 3/4 of the sentences must have a word or a statement or a phrase revealing like it is your opinion. For example, in my opinion, I am in favor of, I would like to subscribe this. In my viewpoint, I would say that, I'll opine that, according to me, up to me, in my favor, or I'll go for taking this view into consideration. I'll go with this. I'll take this one. I may be thinking of taking this. Clearly, each sentence to make that almost all the sentences to the extent possible for you, you need to go for having one point infused, making it like the whole sentence is what infused, like it is what your opinion revealing. For example, do not write generalized statements many here for any of the topics for both. So we are not generally supposed to go for writing general statements because it is not the kind of essay representation. We are not supposed to go for writing general statements. Like for example, if you go for taking one opinion, like uh, these days, newspapers, many of the people are not considering, are moving, are showing their favor in reading a newspaper because they are going to take online versions of the same newspaper and they are going to make it comfortable reading by having it in their mobile phone or other electronic gadgets. True. It is general statement. You're not supposed to tell the information in general statement format. Just add a phrase or a short note of making your opinion revealing to make it like it is what your opinion, not someone else's opinion or general statement. For example, in my opinion, many people these days are not considering. Same information you can tell that general statement, but by adding a phrase or a short note to that, you're going to make it like your opinion format. Why I am not supposed to go for telling general statements? Because I am not making any sort of essay kind of structures. Clearly, the question title is asking you to go for making up, responding to your survey question. It means they are seeking your opinion. Your opinion not just only revealed here, revealing wise it is different. I'll go with this or I'll go with that. But ultimately, making each and every sentence having a short note, at least of a phrase, which makes your opinion revealed. And not, if possible, all the sentences. Try to go for making majority of the sentences what you incorporated in a 3 or 4 or 5 paragraphs in your response. Done one? So it means almost all to say that majority of sentences, majority of the sentences, what you are going to make up in your response, almost all 4 paragraphs or 5 paragraphs, what you are going to make it accordingly, whether it is assertive or present type. In that, for majority of the sentences, you are in need of incorporating your point. Very clearly, you are in need of incorporating your point in majority of the sentences. Right. How it is simply by making like infusing point. For example, signal words like according to me, in my opinion, I'm in favor of, up to me, in my way. Ah, I would say those words you can go with. In my favor, I'd like to state, I'd like to say, or I'd say simply, like this you can go for infusing with some other points also. For example, even this kind of statements you can use. I'm not in a position to oppose this. Still, it is showing that it's not your opinion. Clearly, opinion. Opinion. Sorry to say that it is opinion viewpoint. Viewpoint is nothing but how it is the one in your view. We had the your viewpoint, general viewpoint. Closely, you need to make up viewpoint expressions by using these short notes. Right? Like single words. Next two most important point. Constructing 4 out of 4 complex grammatical structures in terms of sentence construction existed. Simple, at least one sentence. Compound, at least one sentence. Complex, at least one sentence. And compound, complex, at least one sentence. Minimum. Minimum. So it means you are clearly in need of fulfilling 4 out of 4 complex sentence structurings in your response. Clearly, you are in need of incorporating 4 out of 4 complex sentence structurings in your response. To say that complex sentence structure is nothing but writing 4 out of 4 complex sentence formations. Right? Simply, each of one is fine. To make it like, try to go for writing complex one. It is be having more closer to say that 3 classes are for compound complex more than 3 classes. Just grouping different information like like anyway, we are going to discuss tomorrow in tomorrow's session more elaborately how to concept.
Are you saying we have to use all 4 different sentence types here, or we have to use all complex? I didn't get that complex.
No, 4 complex sentence structuring, making that not complex sentence 4 types one clearly simple.
All the types of sentences.
Exactly. The broad unit we go for terming that is complex sentence structuring, making that multiple will be there. No, that's why complex sentence structuring.
Got it, sir.
For example,
No,
right. All 4 types. For example, simple one, yes, compound one. We'll make it more elaborate in tomorrow session. Compound, right? Because for telling you the concept of how to construct a simple compound complex, it requires minimum 30 minutes. Minimum. Just by taking one example or 2 examples for each, by including how to make it and how to define that order in our response. Right? Complex. And lastly, the one of compound complex. It's about just showing your ability in terms of grouping different classes and to make it like single sentence. Making the connection by using connectors or transitions or at least by taking the help of signal words or time indicators minimum. Right. Next point, that's the fourth one. So here in this, usually we go for making more more content. We are making that 180 words minimum and 200 words maximum. But for that's ideal limit. For email writing part, you need to go for taking maximum 180, not crossing 180, but closely. There is no wrong in it. Again, I'm making the point. It is ideal. Right? Why it is ideal, sir? Because that's a kind of precise representation and it is kind of elaborate representation. And here, you need to go for clearly explain a reason in the same sentence to the extent possible. That's how reasoning. With reasoning, we are revealing our opinion. It will be very strong. For example, uh, if you ask me a question, sir, like whether you would like to go abroad or stay in India, stay in India. It's what my opinion. Like I'm not enforcing you to do the same. Right? Fine. Why it is, sir? If I simply tell you in in India. That's it. Without a reason, it is inappropriate. And I must tell a reason followed by that, just in order to support my point. A reason followed by statement clearly makes your point a bit highly strong. Evaluators are going to clearly get a note. This response is very good and accurate. Right. Clearly made by statements. Statements anyway, general statements. By adding your point according to me or after me in any words like this, you are making it like your opinion. Followed by a viewpoint in the same sentence or in the follow-up sentences. You need to go for expressing clear-cut reasoning. When do I need to go for explaining the reason for each and every viewpoint what I'm going to express here? Absolutely not much, but minimum for a paragraph, like compelling me to say that in body paragraphs, you need to go for expressing a viewpoint. One or two viewpoints will be behind. Just viewpoints are but different views, different whether it is advantage 3 or 4 in number or disadvantage 3 or 4 in number, positives 3 or 4 in number, likewise negatives of the other option 3 or 4 in number, like that. Just 4 points or 3 points, but different views, different views. And for all 4 points or 3 points, what you're going to embed in one paragraph, you need to have this one. Just at least one viewpoint with reason. You need to make it very clear to make it more strong. So just they are going to capture main point, like when surrounded by the supporting points, how you formulated that. Then they'll go for moving to the next one. To say that it is the last one. Here, unity and coherence. The features what we discovered in our first session. Unity and coherence. So here, unity and coherence are really strictly needed. Right? It doesn't mean that unity and coherence are not at all the points needed for email writing. Here, they are going to make it more emphasized. Why it is the point? Because there in email writing part, you are given 3 individual points. True. Main point 1, 2, 3. How and what you are supposed to organize. In the same order, if you organize, you need to make specifically the unity between the sentences and coherence between the paragraphs existing. But here, they're not going to give you any sort of guidelines or the information or to say that the bullet points what you are supposed to include in your response. Just they're going to give you the option choices, which propels you to go for taking clear-cut focus on unity and coherence more. If the connection exists in all the sentences what you are writing in paragraph, and likewise the paragraphs what you are going to incorporate in your response. And anyway, 5 points. And vocabulary wise, which type of sentence I'm in need of constructing. You can go for constructing the active sentence or active voice or passive voice sentences. Direct kind of speech narration and that kind of speech narration. There is no wrong in it. But clearly you must express it like what it is what your opinion. And in reasoning aspect, we go for confiningly making this 2 paragraphs in the body, excluding introduction and conclusion. Together making it 4 paragraphs minimum. When I am in need of writing 5th paragraph, clearly, when you are unable to make up, like, so to say that, if you go for making up unequal points, for example, advantage you mentioned 3 main points. Disadvantage is just marked up only 2 points. Then you have to go for making up one more point clearly in body paragraph 3 in a separate note. Why it is only for disadvantage? It's not just only for disadvantage, even for advantage also. Why it is the point? Because you are preparing the ground to reveal your point in the conclusion. In the beforehand, you have to just go for lightly representing that point. For example, advantages 3 you mentioned. Disadvantages you just marked up only 2. Okay, in that case, what you are supposed to go for making up. Okay, right. So, if you clearly wanted to support the advantages, or if you wanted to clearly support the disadvantages, if you take any option in a pre-deciding note, in that note, simply write more advantages if you are in support of advantages, clearly in one paragraph. Divide the disadvantages in 2 paragraphs. Next, write disadvantages in 1 paragraph, simply more in number. The same number are closer to say that less number, you can go for writing advantage in 2 paragraphs. Why it is the purpose? Because when you divide the advantages, clearly go for making the not stronger advantages you are projecting. If you go for making all the information clearly in 1 paragraph, that it looks like stronger paragraph. Right? Anyway, that 5th paragraph is an optional thing. It depends purely on the content and structure. Right. In today's session, anything you'd like to ask, Nima? Hare Krishna, like Amira, Bhargavi, Guruniti, Jagadish.
Sir, if it is a reasoning aspect, then we don't have to worry about the second option at all.
Other options. It's been covered, man, actually. It's been covered in the same option because two options are anyway connected. No, if you pick up the broad one, it will be connected. It will be covered here. No need to additionally make some information about that. That's why we are not touching specifically the other option.
You mean in our case where the print media is
exactly, man. That's the same. Right. So, anyways, so stop producing the print version. Anyway, we are going to discuss about advantages of print version and disadvantages of print version. That's one. So disadvantage point going to cover up this view. In order to additionally make the point here much specifically. That's why we are not in need of covering this. Anyway, it will be covered here very clearly. Done, man?
got it, sir.
Is it mandatory for second? We need to second. We can mention the second one also. Whatever